It is that time, YouTube. We officially have the latest balance patch for Street Fighter 6, along with Yasmin being added to the game, and it's a full patch. Every single character in the actual cast has real and legitimate balance changes to them. So today, I'm going to do what any good content creator does and aggregate clips from Twitter to show you guys the absolute highlights of some of the most impactful changes we have seen so far. And also at the end, give a very brief overview of my prediction of the winners and losers of the balance patch. Who were the big winners? Who were the big losers? Who got away scot-free? We're going to get into all that and give some early impressions. But first, to give you a taste of what's to come, do you hear it? Can you sense it? Ding dong. The witch is dead. Yes, one of the biggest changes so far. My level 1 is no longer invincible. So we're going to go over some other changes as well. I just figured I'd start you guys off with something that would make 99% of you guys a little bit happy. They have removed the invincibility on my super to make it a combo tool only, so it can no longer turn the tides in her favor, and also give her the enhancement with the install as well. So that's definitely a big change in that department right there. But let's keep going with some other changes we have here. Zangief is now a 2MK Drive Rush character. Okay, so I had to start you guys off with some good news, and then I have to give you the bad news, because he's sort of a crouching medium kick Drive Rush character. What they made the change here to Zangief is his down, I believe it's with medium kick. The stomp can now be special canceled on the first stomp. So previously you had to do the turret combo due to the second hit, but now the first stomp is a low and actually does Drive Rush cancel and special cancel out of it. So that's the new change. The two hits is kind of the OG version of what they're doing. But the interesting thing about that is not that they just give him a slow, awkward command normal Drive Rush cancel with a down MK. It's also that the move has some unique properties. So here they have Terry. They're going to be pressing reversal after that jab. And did you see it? Did you see it? Let me show you that one more time. Blink and you'll miss it. Look at the low crush, man. They completely removed the hurt box on the move to low. So this is, I think, the use case for this move. It's to counter poke people trying to take their turn back with low forward after spaced out block strings, and you can commit to that and get combo conversions off of it. So kind of, I think, a possibly strong buff to Zangief. It feels like they've been scrambling to give weird buffs to Gief for a while. Like the last patch, he got extra chip on his OD Lariat, which is hardly ever applicable. And they're always making this stuff up with him. So they have a few other buffs, like his ability to always get the suplex move with the heavy kick as well, instead of going for SPD. So there's a few other buffs for him, but I think that one's actually pretty impactful. On to Jamie here now, and Jamie has also been kind of victim to getting inconsequential buffs for a while. They started to hit some strides, I think, in the later seasons, giving him things like more range on his crouching MK, but this is a big one. +1. 0. +2. They made it so much easier now to get in for free with Jamie. Jamie players had a hard time getting in, harkening back to the young days of Ultra Street Fighter 4. So yes, they can actually hit on later active frames a lot more easier and have reduced pushback on those plus frames if you space it properly with the OD palm. And he's just in, man. So instead of having to do Drive Rush Heavy Punch with 1 bar, you can now spend 2 bars to be +2. So yeah, Jamie definitely having more options seed in can be pretty scary for this character. But there's also some other interesting changes as well. Let's see these options. So Jamie has this back medium punch or back heavy punch target combo. I believe it unlocks after drink level 3. And look what they did, man. That's a wall splat. They just decided to say, fuck it, this move's gonna wall splat now. So people are investigating all these different routes, and look from how far away it can wall splat. I think it even has more range than that. So it gives you corner combos from way further out than you normally would. Wait, look how far this one is. Look at that, it's still wall splat. So that's gonna set up a lot of unique situations and combo conversions for Jamie. Here's a conversion off of a command grab. Lets you get the corner level 3 combo as well. So all kinds of nasty conversions here. By the way, if you want to follow along with any of these tweets, I will be linking every single tweet in the description of the YouTube video, so you can go ahead and share the videos, the tweets, or you know, give some props to the original creators here. So if you want to see more of these Jamie setups, you can head on over to the tweet here from Sakio. So they will all be linked in the description. But yeah, interesting buffs there for Jamie. What about Dhalsim, man? No video for this one. It's just, you know, he's just filling the screen now. He can do a little bit of what Ingrid does, where they made it so that during his OD versions of his projectiles, he can also keep on screen the regular versions of his projectile, including the arc and the forward version. So he can throw the regular OD ground fireball and throw the non-OD version in the air. He can throw the arc OD version and throw the ground fireball. So he's going to be able to fill the screen with a lot more projectiles if he spends the OD meter to alternate between them. So yeah, interesting. We'll see how those zoning patterns actually end up playing out in due time, but keep a lookout for that. Here's an interesting one. I feel like DJ was another character where they were kind of struggling to find meaningful adjustments to this character. I feel like they finally found one. So take a look here and see if you noticed anything different about this. DJ has actual short hot mix now. Like, what is going on here? So the light up kicks, you can now steer if you want to pull them back instead of going all the way forward. You can pull it back and do same side with the bazooka knee, or go forward and pull over the opponent and go for a cross up. So you have an ability to steer the whiffed up kicks there and get a little bit of a mix going. So I feel like this is gonna just add to his bag of tricks. I feel like this kind of fits the character a little bit, and I feel like people might end up starting to go for parries, and he's gonna just do empty hop here into throw or into lows, for example. So kind of fits the character. I feel like this is actually a little bit meaningful, not too game breaking or anything like that. It's not gonna skyrocket DJ in any tier list, but pretty interesting idea there for DJ. And on to Guile. Hey man, we heard you like Sonic Hurricanes. So what if we let you do Sonic Hurricane after your Sonic Hurricane? Why not? Why not? So they just said, fuck it. If you cash out with level 1, you can go level 1 again. So that level 1 also is the anti-air version. So theoretically, you can also anti-air at that level 1 and can combo into another level 1. So that's going to be just a little funny way to cash out some meter. So kind of a niche change for Guile, but you can do it now if you wanted to. What about Chun-Li though? So Chun-Li, I didn't get a video of this, but Chun-Li now has a plus on block overhead. They made her overhead out of her Serenity Step, I believe it's called, her stance, that multiple hit overhead. It's now actually plus on block. It went from like -2 to +1, which is nuts. But here's a combination of her buffs here with the extended range on her OD legs. So yes, that's a crazy buff. I'm not showing that. By the way, there's a lot of changes I'm not showing in this. I'm just showing a lot of highlight videos. There's plenty of character specific changes that are all over the place. So this patch is pretty thorough. I'm just showing the most visually appealing highlights I can find from Twitter. So her overhead is buffed, and then also look at the new combo routing. Enhanced range on the OD legs picks up there. Level 2 conversion. Air conversion, OD legs, level 1. So just increasing the utility on OD legs here for increased damage and pretty good damage output for this combo conversion. I'm assuming a level 3 route will do more damage than that, but looks pretty cool. So Chun-Li definitely has some powerful changes in her toolset. What about Manon? Manon's another character I feel like they've been struggling to cook with for a while. There's some interesting changes to Manon in terms of her spin. They gave her spin less recovery on whiff, and they made the kick ender like -3 instead of -5. So she's probably going to be a lot more annoying with the spin. She can now combo off her low meterlessly as it's +4 now, get better conversions in counter hit and punish counter, and other small changes. But also this one where they made her OD overhead ground bounce, so new routes which can let her end in a metal conversion as well. And that can also work potentially off of anti-air combos. So just interesting routes that they gave her to give her both more damage and more ways to convert into a metal knockdown. So this might be a little bit impactful. I think it's just something that like maybe gives her a bit more ways to route into her win condition. I don't think it's that crazy for Manon, but pretty cool to play with for Manon players. And then Marisa. This is probably the scrubbiest change I've seen in the patch. I think most of these were pretty good. I was kind of on board with most of the changes so far. But this one, I'll just let it play out. If you played against Marisa ever in your life, you understand why this is a weird idea. Look at that. If you can't tell how bizarre that is, you have not fought a Marisa player. Marisa is designed to be a medium punch dispensing machine. That target combo into the Gladius, into her other special cancels is like the mini game that all mid to low level Marisa players are playing. And one way to deal with this was to commit to a backdash or a jump to go airborne, so that if they autopiloted the medium punch, it would end up making the second hit whiff. But they just made it so that the second hit will now juggle into an air reset where your special cancel can hit meaty, or they don't show it in this example. You can just go into Gladius, and now when they air reset, land with a meaty Gladius and B+. So this is just encouraging more mindless spamming. So it'll make my Marisa better, because when I accidentally pick Marisa against my viewers, I'm mashing medium punch like this as well. But I feel like this is kind of a bad change, to be quite honest. But I'm sure if you played Marisa a bit more casually, this would be a lot of fun for you to harass your friends with and your online opponents with. So go ahead and spam that medium punch as Marisa. Go crazy with it. There's some other more practical changes as well. So Maggie here is talking about how the heavy punch has an extra frame of block stun, which makes a few things true for her. It makes her charge heavy punch block string into the heavy punch follow-up on the target combo a true string. So it gives them plus frames there on a true block string and corner carry. On top of that, you're going to be able to frame trap after charge heavy punch into back heavy, which is huge for getting big offense going. So that one extra frame of block stun seems pretty good to sequence her heavy punches into her other heavy punches and other frame traps. So kind of tightening up her offense a little bit. I think these are pretty solid buffs for Marisa to do what she does better. So if you play Marisa, be on the lookout for that. Let's get into Alex. Alex is definitely a big winner in this patch. I'm going to spoil it already. This is not the most exciting example, but he can now cancel his crouching heavy kick into the Prowler stance. And you can see there, it's very easy on a normal sweep knockdown to get meaty Prowler options. But a lot of Alex's most optimal combo routes end in the sweep, and that was a problem before because you're essentially sacrificing Oki by ending in the sweep knockdown. Now you don't sacrifice Oki, you actually can do a lot of his optimal conversions that end in sweep and get meaty Prowler mix-ups on top of that. They also made his Prowler lariats have armor for much later in the active frame, so pretty much right until it becomes active, it is armor now. So you're not gonna have situations where it starts up, but a button hits right before it hits you, and it hits in that gap between armor and active frames. And also some reversals would just beat it clean. Like Elena DP would almost always beat Alex charged lariat instead of armoring through it like most other reversals. So that is gone now. They also made his back medium cake +2 instead of +1, and all kinds of little buffs like that, extra frame here or there. But the big one here is this one. DDT. DDT is now completely projectile invincible, and some of these are kind of meme examples, but you'll see this one. This one I think is pretty legit. Don't raw level 2 anymore. So of course, out of Prowler, typically you would just be doing the stomp as your projectile punish to go over the projectile and punish it. But there are some situations where the stomp wouldn't work and it would have to be predictive. This seems like it'll be useful in certain situations on reaction to punish certain projectiles. And I really like the example with Rashid level 2. As long as you are already in or transitioning into Prowler when Rashid pops level 2, if he does it mid-screen, you can punish. You can't go into Prowler stance on reaction after the level 2 and then get it. But yeah, it actually seems to have a few practical benefits because projectiles actually did give Alex a pretty hard time, even though he could hard call him out with a stomp into huge damage. I think this will help some matchups where he was kind of checkmated when he went into Prowler stance initially like that. And this is legit. I mean, this is like really, really actually legit Fireball invincible because not even a god can stand up to DDT. I mean, he's just straight through there. It's legit, man. It is really projectile invincible. The active frames do not matter. The DDT is making it through the God Beam laser. So Alex definitely is a big winner in this patch for that DDT change and other changes as well. Let's go to JP. So what about JP? Is it finally time for him to face some consequences? Hey, maybe. So if you know what's going on here, you can see that after that back throw, Momochi here is testing it. It wasn't a punish counter, man. After JP now does an amnesia, OD amnesia on a throw. He is only +4. They hard-coded this frame advantage in recovery on the throw so that he can't secure a back throw. They already added in previous patches a ton of scaling on the amnesia, so generally you're not getting that much damage on an amnesia combo unless you're cashing out with like supers or something and you bypass the scaling with minimum super scaling. Usually the big reward for JP was positioning, right? Being able to get a knockdown, side swap, and get the zoning or offense started from the positioning. So it was very easy for JP to just do a back throw on the opponent if they went for a grab on his amnesia and pretty much just steamroll and win the match from there. So this patch addressed that by making it so he can't combo or get a punish with a throw when people do a throw on his amnesia. But where there's an amnesia, there's a way. So players are already figuring out weird, awkward side swap routing. So you can see right there on this one, they go for the crouching light punch because it's still -4, so you can start a punish counter with a jab here. Jab, jab, dash, drive rush, jump, medium kick late into the side swap. So you have to spend a lot of bar on that. It's not meterless and it's not as efficient, so it's still a nerf, but he can get the positioning if he spends the meter for it. It's definitely way worse. The back throw probably did as much damage almost as this setup. And these are just other setups you could do, starting with the jab. That's not really new. Like, these are just options to keep in JP players' minds. They could always set up like the safe jump and the corner carry. That's not new. It's just this side swap option is like, hey, you should maybe consider this if you really want to side swap on the grab. So it's just a really powerful move, and JP has really crazy combo conversion. So there's always a new trick when they try to nerf it that people will find a way to employ that strategy anyways. But still overall a nerf. It costs meter. He spent an extra bar and lock himself out of the drive rush, out of the drive meter regen. So definitely worse for JP, but not like he can't get a side swap if he so chooses, if he has the resources for it. But what about the other top tiers? Let's get into some of the top tier characters. We saw JP. What about Ed? Well, they finally got him. They finally got him. They've been trying for years at this point to find a way to nerf this character. Then players like Leshar, Momochi, Fudo, they keep finding a way. So they finally did it. They said, screw it. When you land your flicker and you pull them in, sure, you got the move to connect. You're still plus, but they significantly nerfed the amount of distance it pulls it in on the medium and light versions of the charge flicker. So of course this is made even worse by the fact that they're parrying. Parrying always decreases the amount of distance it pulled in, but if you parry it now, you're like really rewarded for parrying the flicker. So you can still set it up so that you're in range if they don't parry it, for example, to be in range for a crouching medium kick or be in range for a heavy punch or buttons to pressure, but you're not going to be in range for a throw even on a non-parried fully charged light or medium flicker. You're just not going to get throw immediately. You're going to have to walk up and risk getting hit by a counterattack. On top of that, they also added like 30% scaling on OD Blitz and Light Blitz, which is nuts. I don't have a video to demonstrate the damage difference, but a big problem was the fact that Ed can make comebacks by having really good conversions from lights into OD Blitz into level 2, into the Dream combos, which was great for the damage, corner carry, and resource management, depleting the opponent's resources and rebuilding Ed's own meter. So they said, fuck it. 30% scaling, we're tired of this. So if you start a combo from Light Blitz, because Light Blitz can counter hit or punish counter and let you link after, or with OD Blitz, it's going to be significantly scaled. So you're not going to get damage as part of that equation when you do the level 2 combos. So fairly significant nerfs. This is actually impactful. After all kinds of like weird workaround nerfs for Ed, nerfing Throw Oki and other things, they really said, we're just going to go for the core mechanic of this character and make it less effective. No strike throw on flicker for Ed any longer. And what about Mai? So we saw that Mai's level 1 is no longer invincible, which is definitely a big nerf, but what skills are you talking about? You know, he got top 8, top 3 at Evo Vegas this year, second place at Capcom Cup. Oh my god, bro. What's the problem? Oh. I see. OD Rienbo here was the primary way that my players would convert mid-screen into level 1 to get that install and start dominating the screen with the projectile games and having all the enhancements on their special moves. So they completely reworked OD Rienbu. There is more utility for it in other ways, but it seems Capcom is going for the gusto and saying, hey, like for you to route into level 1, it can't be a wake up super and it can't be just from a random confirm into OD mid-screen and get level 1. You're gonna have to find a proper combo route to make this work to earn the install. So they wanted to keep the strength of her projectiles and her install still in play because they didn't nerf the projectiles at all. Her Kikoshisen, her Fireball, her Charge Fan, they're all just as strong as they were before, and the install versions of them are still just as strong. You're just going to find more bigger openings to make that happen. The OD Rienbu now, the way it operates is it went from being a combo filler tool and a routing tool to kind of a pressure tool. It's now safe on block. So the idea they mentioned in the actual patch notes is that you can cancel into it after unsafe on block moves or other moves to frame trap people to keep your turn going. So a surprise late cancel from a stand medium punch or heavy punch if they try to take their turn back, and it'll clip them. And also when in the install, it now does a wall splat. So she does get certain better combo routes if you already have the install active. So it's just a completely different move now because they want to minimize the openings that Mai gets for her level 1. So they nerfed Rienbu, OD Rienbu, because level 1 was too good, essentially. That's what they did. So there's still going to be ways for her to get into the level 1, but it's not going to be as easy as it was before with just a random buffer to OD Rienbu. And what about Ryu, another top tier running amok? Cryme just won Esports World Cup with Ryu. What happened to this guy? What did they do to this fella? Well, did they nerf donkey kick recovery? Did they nerf damage? Did they do nerf throw loop? What do they do to Ryu? Well, let's see here. Oh, they reduce pushback on block on his plus on block solar plexus so that he can immediately go into a frame perfect strike throw mix. So Ryu got no nerfs. Before, after solar plexus, there would be a bit of pushback. He would be plus, but he couldn't get like a frame perfect throw. Now they made it so that his autopilot throw meaty into solar plexus will lead into a plus and block scenario where he gets to take throw. So he did not get any nerfs to make his gameplay a little bit less degenerate, like adding extended hurt boxes on donkey kick or whiff recovery, or nerfing the drive gauge damage on his Hashugeki strings. He just gets better pressure after solar plexus now. And that's pretty much it. Now, there's a lot of other changes I didn't cover in this patch. There's so many different changes, nerfs, and buffs all over the place. So I just wanted to compile a few of the best video examples I could find on Twitter to help give you an idea of what's going on. Another thing that I didn't cover here is that they buffed modern controls like crazy. They added the ability to choose the strength of your down and special move by doing down back, down, or down forward, giving you light, medium, or heavy, so that you have access to more of the different variations of your modern moves using this control scheme, so you have less restrictions on it, and also reworked a lot of the normals and auto combos so that they have more complete toolkits. So in a lot of ways, these characters are in modern kind of buffed, so they're still making a lot of effort to make modern equally as viable competitively with classic controls. So that might have implications as well, especially for already strong modern characters like Chun-Li or maybe even Elena. And oh yeah, I guess I didn't talk about the other top tier running amok in this patch. Sagat, I didn't mention him in a video because he's actually nerfed, but there's nothing I can really tell you about it because Stand Medium Punch, I could have just showed you a footage of any other high-level Sagat match. Stand Medium Punch is nowhere to be found in these patch notes. Stand Medium Punch is still there exactly as it is, but they gave him the Luke treatment. So Crouching Medium Punch, additional 50% initial scaling from this hit. This is what they did to Luke after Season 1, and that caused Luke to just fall off the face of the earth. So they buffed some other moves, like his some of his Tiger Nexus pressure from OD. They made the OD overhead -3 instead of -5. So they tried to like improve the utility of OD Tiger Nexus, and they added some whiff recovery on Sand Medium Kick and Hurtbox extension on these moves, and then added this initial 15% scaling and increased pushback on block on the Crouching Medium Kick, so it's harder for him to get tick throws off of that when he uses it as like a drive rush Oki option. So this is pretty significant, but there's nothing to show for it. Stand Medium Punch is still the same, but the reward he gets on hit from his most common starter for damage is going to do a lot less damage. So with that said, What are my initial predictions for the biggest winners and losers of this patch? This is a really early look and early impression of this just from reading the patch notes and seeing examples on Twitter and going through it and analyzing it without playing a lot so far. This is what I think so far. Big winners, we got Alex and Jamie. Buffed. Kimberly, I didn't mention. Kimberly got decreased hurtbox on her stand MK, it sounds like, and also an extra bomb for more mix and strike throw pressure. Zangief, Ingrid, they just improved a few juggle points with her, or juggle possibilities with her heavy punch fireball in the air, and now you can more easily combo into the heavy kick spin from certain routes with her stand medium kick. Dawson, Guile, Luke, DJ, Chun-Li, C Viper. C Viper got some buffs as well with OD Seismo. Small buffs, Manon, Aki, and Bison, Rashid, Cammy. Somehow actually buffed instead of nerfed Ryu, Terry, Akuma. I didn't mention Terry. They buffed Terry. They buffed Terry's OD quick burn to have better scaling when comboing into it. I don't understand why. Like, he got no nerfs whatsoever, which was so surprising to me because I feel like Terry's top 5 in the game. And Akuma got slight buffs as well. They gave him an extra frame of knockdown or advantage on his charge fireball that they gave him in the last patch so they can dash up for Oki. They did nerf his 5 NP. You're not wrong about that. They added slightly more whiff recovery, but I don't feel like that's that significant of a nerf. I actually don't feel like that. Like, it was a pretty abusable button. People would fish with that a lot, but I don't know, man. I feel like, oh, extended hurtbox. Thank you. Yes, exactly. That's even better for Terry. I think more whiff recovery would be worse. Extended hurtbox matters, of course, but I think Terry got away scot-free just like Ryu. The same. I mean, Ken had some unique changes. I think he's buffed and nerfed in some ways. Lily, Elena, like, these are characters I don't understand too much of the impacts of their changes. Elena got buffs. I don't know if they're that meaningful. Same with Lily. JP and Blanca, they got nerfed. JP had the solar plexus treatment to his heavy punch so that it's more easier to move in and out of range. The proximity guard won't lock you down, so you can better whiff punish things. But I feel like the nerfs like don't actually impact him. Blanca got nerfed so like the stand heavy kick anti-air. It doesn't cause as much knockback, so he can't get as good of juggles in most situations. But for the most part, he's pretty much unscathed. Level 2 is untouched. Slightly nerfed, Sagat, Jury, and Honda. I'm putting them in here. I feel like Jury had her crouching medium punch range reduced because they modified a hitbox that was only meant to hit an anti-air. You can maybe put them in Jury in the same. Honda got some buffs as well, but they added whiff recovery and I believe a hurtbox extension on stand medium punch. But either way, the fact that Honda got whiff recovery on stand medium punch is fucking huge. Yeah, so stand medium punch, when the attack misses, they gave 2 extra frames of recovery, and the hurtbox on the body when the attack misses expanded forward. Honda was basically, he used to be a headbutt and butt slam dispenser, and then he became a stand medium punch dispenser. So that's a big nerf to his core game plan. And Sagat getting the crouching medium punch scaling, honestly, might be very nerfed. And then McDonald's here, Ed and Mai. Those are pretty significant nerfs. Like, I think people will drop these characters after these nerfs. I think that will actually impact how many people stay with the characters for sure. Now, that said, early impression, this is not going to be accurate once people dig into the patch more and understand the characters. Just certainly an early impression. Don't take this to heart. I'm just trying to give you something to chew on, to form your own opinions, and to see where the patch develops. But that's it for the patch, man. There was no changes to anything like universal mechanics, no changes to drive rush, drive parry, drive reversal, nothing. It was all just character-specific changes. So that's all you really want to be thinking about when looking at this, to figure out where the meta is going to go and to decide what you will be maining in the future. Will you be changing characters based on this patch? Are you happy with it? Are you an Ed player though, and you're horrible, like you're so disappointed you wish you didn't read this patch in the first place? Let me know in the comments. And anyways, that's all I got for this overview. Thanks to everyone on Twitter for posting all these clips. Once again, check the description. We'll link all the tweets so you can go show some love to the original creators over there. And thank you for watching. I'm out of here. Peace.